Tony, first possession of the second half, you went inside to Anthony and he scored. Did you feel your guys had fallen in love with the three-pointer in the first half a little?
Yeah, and in the second half too. I don't mind, at times when we post-trap and we'd kick it across and our guys were set, but you look at the amount of threes we took and maybe the time in the shot clock. I mean, sometimes the ball rotates, it touches the paint and comes out. But I compliment our guys because I thought our defense took a step in the right direction from the last two games, and I thought we bothered shots or contested shots. But I said offensively, we didn't maybe exploit some of the mismatches we had, or we lacked the ability to rotate the ball, to wear them down. Touch inside doesn't mean you're going to score, but take a look at those. And I thought our advantage on the offensive glass showed up was big. But yeah, I thought it was a little trigger happy tonight. It just seemed that way, and that's something we gotta understand. You got to play both ends, and there were some good things, but certainly I would agree with that.
Whitey.
Yeah, hey Tony. That play by Justin, I think you guys were on your run there with about 3 minutes left, and he came cruising up the court, and it looked like maybe he was going to pull it out, but then he didn't, and he found Mike for the dunk. What was kind of going through your head?
Yeah.
Did you think that was the right play to keep attacking right there?
If we scored, it's the right play. If we didn't, it's not. It's pretty simple. No, I mean, it didn't look like it was going to unfold that way, and I don't know if a couple of their guys sort of slowed up, and then Justin got a 2-on-1, and it was a real safe pass. It wasn't one of his look away between the leg behind the back passes. So it was, you could see it look away, and there's a lot of space, and he shoveled it, and then that was an important basket in that setting because you saw how quick they can score, just like we've seen teams with a guy like Turner and Lacey, even a couple of the big kid that was shooting it well. So, it was one of those, if he had turned it over, if it was a little higher risk, it wouldn't have been the right play, but we got the bucket, put us up by, I don't know what, 8 or 10 was it? Okay.
You got a bit of a lift from Toby in the second half.
Yes.
It seemed like he played tougher maybe. What did you see from him in the second half?
Yeah, I think, first on the glass, offensive rebounding. They went small. They got a little foul trouble. And I thought, maybe that was the guys' game plan in their own mind. We'll crank up some threes, and I know those guys will get the weak side rebounds. Maybe that's what they're going to tell me. But I thought he was active, and he was actually bothering some shots, rebounding, all that stuff. But that offensive rebounding was important, and then a guy to throw it into. And then same thing when it was Anthony. I just thought that was an advantage we need, and our offense wasn't real pretty. As I said, it was a little out of sync, but we got some of those X-factor points that are important for us.
David. You said in your opening remarks that you thought the team took a step forward defensively compared to the previous two games.
Yep.
Did you think Justin's length bothered Barber especially, and then Brogdon in the second half on Turner maybe paid a little more attention? Yeah,
we just thought, we told Justin to just be a roadblock, spread out, keep him in front to the best of your abilities because Cat's really quick and he can do stuff, and he'll look to shoot it, but we thought that was a good matchup. And actually London's real good at eluding screens, and we thought initially Malcolm might be good on Lacey. I thought that actually at my staff. We had a little debate about that. I thought Malcolm is good against a guy like Lacey, makes tough shots. But a couple of Turner's threes, no one was going to stop. A couple of them were off of quick shots on our part. A turnover against Anthony, lost one, and they came down. And then a guy like that gets going, and then a couple of them were contested. I have no problem with shots that are made if we're bothered and up near it. But I do think the length of Malcolm in the second half and him not getting separated was good. And London did a good job on Lacey, and Justin continued to. And Mariel gave us a nice lift defensively. We haven't talked about him. That was important for us.
Tony, you're obviously kind of a perfectionist, especially on the defensive part. But have you gotten to a part where you kind of feel like you're going to have stretches in games where it's not going to be there, but when they kind of get locked in, that they're pretty darn good?
Defensively, I'm trying to fight them on that because I don't think we're where we need to be defensively. I think we do have some limitations, and I say that honestly. But I wrote on the board before the game, I put the percentage symbol, and I said, it's about percentages. Can you bother and contend and win the majority of the percentages? I don't think you're going to be perfect. I understand that. But can you win the majority of them and outlast them as the game goes on? And the same thing is true offensively, which I don't know if we did that, but defensively, is that Joe playing? No, just like, sorry. Saw the Cavaliers. I thought I saw Joe Harris. Sorry, I guess. But I think that we have to have that mentality. We're going to have to be win the majority. We're not going to dominate you and take things away. And it's something we need to up the ante on in terms of the defensive things. And I think our guys know that.
There was a stretch there, towards the end of the second half where I think you guys only allowed 1 basket in 7 minutes. I mean, how nice was that to see after the last couple of games?
It was, yeah, because now certainly against Davidson and against Miami, and then you look at the 3 perimeter players with NC State, you're going against teams that have scorers in most positions, and so that's the challenge. And to be able to, again, bother most of their shots, contest the majority of them, that was real good, and we did a good job on the glass. And both teams were a little fatigued. You could see that, and that's where being at home helped. And I said, who's going to outlast who, and all the stuff we talk about. But we needed it, and they had a couple tough shots, end of the shot clocks, and we picked up a couple charges, took away some buckets. You just felt a little uneasy, but our guys, I think their experience in battling through gave us the edge.
I don't know whether you had 3 or 4 offensive fouls in the second
Yeah.
half. It looked like you had a kind of difference of opinion with one of the officials on what constituted a charge.
Yeah, I think, I looked actually on one of the replays, and I think it was definitely a good call. And I told him that. I said that was a good call, my fault on that. A couple I thought that maybe either the guy fell down a little sooner or just we were going in the other direction. I got to watch those. Those, again, I always say it's a bang-bang play, and you got to just live with it. But we were dying to get buckets, and those hurt, and I felt like we needed it. And I think the one where I got most upset is we had a post trap, and I thought a guy cleared out, and that was in the first half. But so I think I was otherwise wishing him a Happy New Year, Doug. So otherwise it was just that. So.
The decision to start Darion tonight? Yeah,
again, kind of what Isabel said defensively. I said I want to, before Darion got hurt, he was starting, and I think he was giving us a good lift. He's fully healthy. I said if Anya was going to start, I was going to start Mike with Darion. If they went with Abu, we said we'll start Anthony. And I just wanted to see, I think Darion gives us that ability to blow up ball screens. He's active, he's quick, and I wanted to have a little more of a defensive approach to it to start. The first half, the second half. That's what I was looking at. Doesn't mean it's always going to be that way, but that was the intent behind it.